94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
4 minutes to 10. Isaac Sharma says, hold on a minute. That's Radul. Oh my. It's been a minute since I last heard her. Yes, Isaac. Yes, she's the one. She's here. She's in the studio. And from this Saturday, she'll be in the playground. What's the playground, Carol? How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you guys?
Very good.
Fantastic to be here. The Playground is our sports show being revamped, revived. It's fresh, and there's going to be a lot of playing. But it's all about discussing Kenyan sport. Where can we take Kenyan sport to the next level? We all know that it can be a very depressing topic sometimes. And then, of course, the usual banter about foreign football, the Premier League, the Champions League. Not just football, it's a sports show. Yeah. So we're going to have a lot of fun on the playground with Roy Karuhize and Kieni Githinji. And tune in 2 to 6 on Saturdays. Here on Spice.
Right here on Spice.
From 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. So why Kieni and Roy?
Because we have invested more than 15 years in building a rapport together. We bring different elements to the show. Apart from just being a hardcore sports analysis show, it's also an entertainment show. And if you know the basis of good entertainment, you need to have the serious person, you need to have the person who jokes, and you need to have, in quotes, the buffoon. And I put that in quotes because...
Because Roy is in
when
big
you
quotes.
say not serious person, why are you pointing at me?
Because Roy will be sitting there on Saturday. It's not you. Roy will be sitting there on Saturday.
We just met today. What have you been telling me about me?
Wow.
Funny.
No, people think sports has to always be hardcore analysis, and you do need to do the hardcore analysis because there are those fans who want that information. But nowadays with social media, you find a lot of that already exists on social platforms, on WhatsApp, on different elements like that. So we also bring in the entertainment value so that, I mean, I don't know how many times I'm stopped in the mall and this woman says, I listen to your show, but I don't like sports, because they like entertainment. So we also try to have a good laugh. We make fun of each other. But then we also discuss serious issues.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, it's great to follow foreign football. It would be great if we could do something about our own football to bring it to that level. So we'll also have the serious issues, bring in the serious guests as well. But it's elevating sports, yes,
right? Elevating conversation and looking at how you can improve Kenyan sport as well.
Yes.
But you've been unable to improve Roy.
Some things you concede, and you accept. Roy is like my brother. You accept your brother with all his hang-ups, with all his faults. He's your brother. He's going nowhere. So we've accepted him. But there's also a lot of humor he brings to the show. But it's about fun and games, but it's also about trying to take sport to the next level. And sport is not just football. A lot of people ask me, is it just a football show? I'm like, no. There's so many sports in Kenya that people are not paying attention to. The sports we had at the Olympics, there was fencing, there was swimming. Sadly, we had no boxers at the Olympics. That's an issue we need to tackle as well, because we used to be a powerhouse in boxing. Volleyball, what's happening in volleyball? Why do our girls do well on the continent but never excel when they go on the international stage? What can be done about that? So it's having serious issues about all sports. We have ice skating just down the road, ice hockey. They skate here at Panari Hotel. Yeah. They have a huge tournament coming up they'll be hosting the world in January. I don't think people even know that because we don't pay attention to some of these sports. We have baseball. We had the finals the other day at JKU Quad. So there's
baseball.
Yes,
in Kenya.
Yes, there's a league.
There's a baseball league in Kenya.
Yes. So there's so many. There's pickleball where we were a guest
throwing
sport.
City for a loop. Yeah,
we were a guest sport during the Africa Games, but we came back with gold and silver medals. Yes.
What's I was alone in this one?
It's a little bit like tennis, but the bat is almost like a table tennis bat, but a little bigger. You play on like a mini tennis court. They have their headquarters at Two Rivers, and then they have a court as well at the hub. And we were guest. It was a guest sport. It was they're trying to introduce it into mainstream.
Right.
So they went to the Africa Games, and we got gold medals, silver medals, just from a sport you don't even know about. Roll ball, we are world champions, men and women.
First of all,
you can't just start making stuff up now.
What ball?
I'm making stuff up.
She's just making up.
Africa champions of what?
Roll ball.
Wait.
We are world champions, not Africa champions, of roll ball.
World champions.
Yes, men and women. And our women were defending world champions.
How do you spell that thing?
No. I'm very okay with that. But
You know, we're Africans.
how many
Wait,
countries
wait.
of the world participated in this sport?
Okay, roll ball wasn't that many. There were, I think, there were about 12, but it was being held in India. And you know, it's a sport that has come from Asia, and we beat them.
No, and we went to play in India.
Yes,
Okay.
men and women.
And we won.
The world champion, and we have a trophy. It's about this high.
Was it documented, this winning?
Yes, I made sure that it was.
You know, we're a country where somebody told us they had driven a lorry in reverse from Mombasa to Eldred. And it didn't happen. So
You need to follow me on social media, and I'm not putting a plug here,
I'm still
but
stuck on
Yes, you
this.
are.
and
What ball?
Roll ball. R.
no, forget the red ball.
No, don't
ROLL.
forget. R O L
Oh, you know, we are.
City, what's that? Because you want us to forget. What's the roll ball?
No, I'm not saying forget the roll ball.
He's just happy that Kenya's world champion.
No,
He doesn't know
It's
what it is.
something.
I want to find out what this sport is about. We can win things which don't exist. This is Kenya.
You roll the
Do
ball.
you know kabaddi?
That's the other one.
Kabaddi.
Yes.
You're a relative of ours.
You have a relative called kabaddi. By the way, now you've just told me that us guys have work to do.
Yes,
No,
kabaddi.
We need to
Yes,
bring
kababa.
these people on our show so that they can talk about their sport, so that
Ah,
more
it's
Kenyans can
important.
support
Very
them.
important. Let me ask you a question, Carol. So
Yes.
years ago, the local leagues were things that people watched because their boyfriend played or their sister maybe. I think you were instrumental in making sure that a lot. Now we have people going out to watch Gor Mahia.
Almost
we have-
15 years ago,
Yeah, so-
when I started hosting my show, it was a lot of foreign football, and I asked myself, do we have a league of our own that people watch? And I couldn't even find information in our dailies. I think I got a really tiny paragraph with fixtures on a Sunday. These are the Kenyan Premier League matches. And I took myself to Nyayo Stadium. Nobody would come with me. People were like, will you be safe?
Right.
And from there, I began a campaign. I found a few people who were like-minded, and I dragged them along with me. And we started this movement to try and get Kenyans to appreciate their own football, and it grew from
And
there.
they did.
And they did for a time. Unfortunately, we're very seasonal fans. Gor Mahia must be doing well for the fans to come. AFC must be doing well for the fans to come.
So now my question is,
Yeah.
this Premier League that everybody shouts about, Arsenal playing whom, whatever. Guess what? The fans who watch in London or Manchester or whatever, those are actually local fans. Those are their
Yes.
local fans, for a large number of them.
Yes.
So what do you think would be the plug to keep Kenyans, to keep that allegiance to local teams the way they do?
Well, there's a lot to do. Wow. First of all, don't fault anyone who's not local who watches foreign football.
No,
I
not
love
at
Arsenal
all.
Football Club. And the quality of their game, they have built a brand and they've built a marketing, I don't even know the word, machine, thank you, that keeps the quality of their league so high. That's why players from all over the world, the best players in the world, apart from Lionel Messi, plays in the English or has played in the English Premier League. No, some of the greatest players in the world have played in the English Premier League.
Yep.
Why? Because they've built a brand so grand that the money is there and the eyeballs are there. And then they've packaged that brand to put it on television, to make it attractive to watch. They've developed their stadia to make it an inviting environment to want to go to. They've marketed to their fans. When you go to the stadium, by the way, it's not just 90 minutes of football, it's a festival. I've been fortunate to go for Premier League games, Bundesliga, World Cups. Even when it comes to rugby, Dubai Sevens, Vegas Sevens, I've been for an NBA game. It's a festival. Those are things we're not doing in Kenya. So we're here faulting our fans for not watching our local leagues. But what are we offering beyond a 90-minute game? And I've tried to have conversations with a few club owners, with federation presidents and all that stuff to try and change that.
And what do they say?
Verbally,
Okay, what do they
they
do?
get it. My dear, a club like Gor Mahia still has physical tickets on game day.
That's the sport.
They have not put
That's the sport.
They are not using electronic ticketing systems.
Why?
Why? Because you can't cheat an electronic ticketing system. There's a reason why.
Why
they
would the
pl-
club want to cheat on tickets? And it's their source of revenue.
Hey, how much time do you have?
I think
Let me give you an example. About 12 years ago, I wanted to buy a Gor Mahia shirt. I called my friend Gidi. I told him, Gidi, I saw you with a Gor Mahia shirt. Where can I get one? He told me, call this number. I said, whose number is this? He said, it's an official of the club. I called her. She sold me jerseys. I bought, I think, 4 jerseys for my sister, my whole family. And then I find out that it's a private business.
What do you mean?
I always ask, how much money
So
our
the
jersey
revenue
is
did
going
not
to
end
the
up
club?
going.
You as a club official has started your own business. Unaenda China,
On a print.
you print your replicas, you bring them and you sell. And me, when I'm buying from an official, I assume it is legitimate. It is only now that now 2024, that Gor Mahia now has a shop somewhere downtown that is actually affiliated to the club. They log everything that is sold, but before anyone can sell them, I can pick that design and go and do it. And they do the same with ticketing. That is why if you want to watch a Gor Mahia match, even when they're playing CAF Champions League, the tickets are sold that morning. Why? So that you can't run to River Road and reprint the tickets. Yet, we have been singing to these clubs for over 10 years, get electronic ticketing. But with electronic ticketing, there's no
hanky-panky.
Hakuna hanky-panky.
No fiddling.
Right now, it's half the officials of these clubs are not there for the right reasons. They're there to make a quick buck. By the way, we're going into FKF elections. That's another topic we'll be discussing.
By the way, I've looked up Kabaddi. Okay.
It's played by Kababa.
Yeah. By the way, this one is no wonder we won. Just listen. The game involves players.
No, it's not Kabaddi we won. It's roll ball we won.
Okay. We also won this one. The game involves players from one team taking turns to chase and try to catch the other players. Okay. The other team, but
Who catch?
Yes, catch, and the other team runs, and so that they're not caught. But the key thing here, you must hold your breath while doing so.
No, Kabaddi is a bit like
That's how the game is played. So is there a referee who's checking that you're not
So that
actually
one,
breathing?
that's actually we won. Kenya's just breathing.
Kabaddi is a little bit like Kati in that you have to try and touch someone like this, but then it also has a few elements of wrestling. Not the wrestling we watch WWF, the other wrestling of
Bring the other person down.
yeah, the one of Olympics. It's a
Yes.
little bit like that, but then you're supposed to. It's difficult to explain. Now we'll be bringing the people who played to
Come and
explain.
explain.
But we're good at it. We're
And
not too
It's
shabby.
an international sport.
But something you'll find out is how much talent this country has. And
lot,
our
sure.
job now is to try and get this talent to be developed, to be exploited, not in the wrong way, to be supported. We have FKF elections coming up. I hope we put the right candidate in office because the sport needs to be cleaned up.
What does
So-
a candidate look like?
Someone of integrity.
But all these guys start off as people of integrity.
I wanted to argue with that statement, but about 9 years ago, I was supporting Nick Mwendwa to come into office. So
But was he not a person of integrity?
That's exactly what it is saying.
that's why I said I wanted to have a clap back to that comment, but I can't because you're absolutely right. We even see it in national politics. People come in with integrity. But I don't know why we first of all, we listen to so many lies. I don't think anybody needs to campaign because everybody campaigning is campaigning for the same thing and promising
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
But we have to look at who is somebody who's not greedy, who's not corrupt. And unfortunately, we can only go by your record.
We have a problem there.
But you're so right. People change.
If the people who are competing for these posts are Kenyans, that last statement you made becomes a bit of a problem.
The problem is when we see money, I don't know what it does to us.
So we see it.
We're all honest. We're all full of integrity.
We even go to church.
When you're broke like me, let a pesa up. Put some dollars on this table.
It sounds like it could be really obvious because we look at some countries and we know what they've done with sport.
Yes.
It's like a government on its own, and it's able
It
to
is.
elevate people as
It's a government
individuals,
and an industry.
and it's able to elevate the nation itself. It puts you on the global map. I mean, just look at what the US has done with basketball. Look what they've done with some of the other sports. Look at the entire leagues. The leagues in the
Look what happens when our
Europe.
athletes go and get gold medals at international events.
So connect for me and say, what. It might sound obvious, but open that up a little bit. What could it actually do for Kenya if it was taken seriously?
First of all, this joblessness we cry about half this problem can be gone. For some reason, if you look at one game, and I'll give football an example, you look at one game at Nyayo Stadium on a Saturday, you'll find maybe 3 people selling tickets, and then you'll find the players on the technical bench. I was fortunate enough, I think, in 2010 to be hosted by the Bundesliga. And I went for a game in Werder Bremen. It was at the Versa Stadion. And they took us there at 8 o'clock in the morning. The game was like at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. They took us at 8 a.m. in the morning. Already there was so much hustle and bustle around, from the security to the people doing the grounds to people setting up they have the VIP areas with restaurants and everything. There are waiters, there are cooks, there are trucks coming in. They're going to be selling hot dogs and beer. There's a fan shop that is opening. There are people who work in that fan shop. So there's so many people already there. As you get closer and closer to kickoff, more and more people come. As the players come, they're coming with their lawyers, their doctors, their physios, the team captains, the referees. You know, the amount of people employed, the entertainment, the DJ, the dancers who perform at halftime, the technical people. By the time you're finished with that day, an odd 1,000 people have worked on one game. And there are 10 matches in the Bundesliga, second tier, third tier, fourth tier. Kenya, I think we're on 6 tiers for men, and I think 3 tiers of leagues for women. I don't know if it's 3.5 or 4 for women.
We have 6 tiers for men.
Yes. From the Premier League to the Super League, and then going down, the National Super League, Division 1, Division 2, the County League. It goes down, right down until your Ushago. So imagine if one game is employing 1,000 people, because they've created a brand where they're expecting 30,000, 40,000 people to attend.
That's
so you see,
match.
on that one match, so many people have got employment. You don't have to be a sports person. You can be a lawyer, a doctor, an accountant. They're all required to manage professional football clubs. And then break that down per 10 games in each league. Those are how many people working on a Saturday and a Sunday. You know, and here we are crying about joblessness. Instead, we'd rather go and spend our money in the bar. It's not that we don't have money. We just have more entertaining things to do with it. Because nobody has built us a brand to make us want to go to the stadium. Even if you go to Kasarani today, okay, we put chairs, I think early last year. Kasarani finally got seats all over. But they're still not clean. The lose, unless you're in VVIP, hey, hold it till you get home, you know. Man, you're lucky. You can go to the fence. Us, we need comfort. So people stay away for different reasons. We need to build that brand. Unemployment can be heavily resolved if we get a football industry that works. That's football. Think we have rugby leagues, we have hockey leagues, we have basketball leagues, we have volleyball leagues.
Tennis, cricket.
That's an industry. Why are we still treating sport like that thing that passes time on the weekends?
So why?
Because we have the wrong people managing the games.
All of them?
Most of them are there for the wrong reasons. I see rugby really trying. Finally, they have Sasha Mutai. That is why he's attracting heavy investment, because Sasha has made his money. He doesn't want your small change. He's a very rich man, if I can say so. I know him personally, so he's happy. He's he's also a person of integrity. He will not be tempted. Yesterday, they were given 81 million, I think, for the Kenya Sevens team. That money, trust me, is going to go to the right place. But getting that confidence back from corporate Kenya, because you make your money from corporate Kenya. So getting that confidence back from corporate Kenya to put their money in sport is where we've missed the mark. Unfortunately, a lot of corporates take their cue from football. So if you approach them for a different sport, they'll tell you, you people, you're corrupt.
In football, we have established clubs. AFC Leopards, Gor Mahia, Shabana is coming up and all. Gor Mahia, for example. Gor Mahia has had, people of supposed integrity at the helm, right? So if you look at like you said, people who have made their money, they've made their name elsewhere. Ambrose Rachier has made his name in law. He's coming and saying, all right, let's look at what we can do with Gor. And others, before and after him, why don't we get it organized?
Unfortunately, and Ambrose Rachier is my friend, unfortunately, even Gor Mahia have not got it right. Gor Mahia players should be swimming in cash. They've not got it right. Why are they still doing manual ticketing? Why are they still... People inbox me, where can I get a Gor jersey? Until last week, when I was sent a WhatsApp message by the CEO of the club.
This is the location of the shop.
Yes, and I put it on my Facebook. I'm getting DMs. You guys have launched a jersey. Where can I get it? It was not available for almost a month. Finally, it's available. So there are things within Gor Mahia that are also not right. There are officials, there's still a lot of, and this is general, even if I'm sure you guys discuss national politics a lot, there's a lot of favors owed once you get into a position,
Right.
and you end up putting the wrong person in certain positions. And that's what ails a lot of our clubs, is how the individual clubs are managed. And there's no leadership from the federation.
But football clubs, cricket club, whatever sport we're speaking
Cricket
of,
is another story.
yes,
Uh-huh.
the corruption in this country that cascades into our sports would not survive or thrive if it wasn't supported by us, the fans. I'll tell you what I mean. If the thing doesn't disgust you enough so that you actively do something about it, you might as well support it, because it will continue.
You're very right. And that is exactly what I was thinking when I came in and you guys were discussing all these court cases that are being dismissed. We're also not angry enough as a people. Generally, it's a Kenyan mentality. We don't get angry enough. We demonstrated for 1 month. And it was unfortunate. I feel sad for all the lives that were lost. Unfortunately, people who were abducted are still missing. But we don't get angry enough for a sustained period of time for things to change. We accept so much, so quickly. All these cases that you mentioned, what are we going to do about it?
They're gone.
By a week from now, we won't even be discussing it.
No, they're gone.
And it happens again in sport. It's true, we don't hold the owners of our clubs accountable. And because it's so easy to just switch on my TV and watch Arsenal, so why am I bothered
Deal with the drama over
something
here.
that's going to...
That's what we do. We change focus. If this isn't working, we don't bother with fixing it. We move elsewhere.
But football unfortunately is bigger than just Kenya, because I don't think, and this is not an official study anywhere, I don't think FIFA, it's my personal view, I don't think FIFA has our interests. All they need are clubs to go for a World Cup every 4 years. And there are enough in this world.
Yeah.
Africa is needed for votes. So when it comes around, because we hold many votes,
Yeah.
we almost determine who is the next FIFA president as
We do,
Africa. Yes, because Africa has...
The leadership of football in Africa. All right. Now we have a billionaire at the helm of African football.
We do.
Who has invested in even buying his own club.
No, wait.
Yes.
Who
Money
is
in
this
the-
person?
South Africa's richest black man.
By the way, South Africa, they persecuted, what's his name? The day before yesterday. The Secretary General of their federation. Anyway,
For why?
What did he
the
do?
same old thing, corruption and mismanagement